We're getting into the meat of the high school football season. Transfers are on the field. We're seeing the pretenders and the contenders across all divisions, including the open division. We're going to have a lot of teams competing for those spots this year. It's going to be a lot of exciting action. Welcome into Bleacher Talk, brought to you by Valle Luna. We appreciate their support. I'm Jordan Spurgeon alongside Claudia Faust. And Claudia, you were back out there on the sidelines last week. We're having a lot of fun. The weather starting to take care of us a little bit more. It's cooling off a little bit to a nice 90 degrees, which feels amazing. Never thought I'd say that. So how you feeling?
Well, 90 degrees is just different here. I mean, I grew up in Florida where 90 degrees is like what feels like 110 here when we're breaking records. So I'm liking this. I would like to break the records for like lows. That'd be awesome. So let's keep this going. But it's so much fun being out on Friday nights. And I got to see a couple games this past Friday. I love when I get to jump around a bit. And, it was fun, but, it's not fun. Let's bring in Bruce Cooper so I can cry right now because we're all tied up. My reign is over. Quick Picks is anyone's game now, like really anybody's game because we're tied at 12-3. Bruce, I know you've been waiting for this moment, so just give it to me.
Claudia, what I have to say is I thank for me and Jordan, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts to allow us to massage our egos and feel good about ourselves. Yeah, you threw a couple of ducats our way and we appreciate it. So yeah, we're all knotted up at 12 wins and 3 losses apiece. Major thanks.
It was an honor just helping you guys out a little bit. Yeah. Well, we've got 3 new fun matchups to talk about this week. So let's just get right into it. The first matchup is Hamilton and Chaparral. Jordan, take it away.
Yeah, I am super excited for this matchup. Everyone knows I'm a quarterback guy first. It's just what I just love watching great quarterback play. And we're going to see 2 of the best go at it in this game. Nico Marchiol is on a mission this year after not winning an open division title last year. He's playing like a different quarterback this year with a lot of size. And Braden Zilbor over at Chaparral. I mean, big win against Saguaro 2 weeks ago. They beat down Sandra Day O'Connor last week. He's looking like a real stud. I'm excited for this game. I mean, both guys got some studs on defense. Anthony Lucas over there at Chaparral is a force to be reckoned with. I just think Hamilton right now is the better team. They're a little bit hungrier. They want to make sure they keep pace with Chandler. I think Hamilton could afford to lose one game and still get the open division. Chaparral can't. If they lose one more, they're probably not going to get into the open division. I think Hamilton's going to win this one. I don't think it's going to be super close, even though I do like the quarterback matchup. I think Hamilton comes out on top 35-21.
All right, Bruce, do you agree, disagree?
Claudia, I mean, it's hard for me to disagree with anything that Jordan just said there. I think back to Hamilton a few weeks ago when they scored 18 points in the final minute of play to beat Bishop Gorman on national TV. I mean, since that time, I think they have grown in confidence. And you look at their last 2 wins. I mean, they're just starting to separate themselves. And yeah, Nico Marchiol, I mean, he showed in that nationally televised game against Bishop Gorman that he'll do any and everything he can to lead his team to victory. And I think he'll do so again Friday night. And I agree with Jordan. I don't think it'll be too close. I like Hamilton 34-20.
All right. Well, you guys pretty much said it all. You've left almost nothing for me to say because I'm in full agreement. So we're probably going to be, after this 13-3 with this. Yeah, I just don't see myself betting against Hamilton. And I think the only time that I will is against Chandler. So I feel like that's all I can add to it. I agree. Hamilton 36-24. That's what I'm going to go with. The next matchup we've got is Desert Edge and Cactus. Bruce, I'm going to let you take this one first.
Well, let me tell you something. The Carter twins are doing fantastic work over there at Desert Edge, but let me tell you something. What Joe Ortiz is doing at Cactus right now is nothing short of sensational. They have outscored their 5 opponents 272-32. 5-0. Every game they've scored 50 or more points. I just think that's just way too much for Desert Edge, even with a talented quarterback like Adrian Lara to contend with. I mean, they look like the Larry Fetkenhire head coached team back in the day from the Cactus Cobras when they were putting up big time monster numbers. So yeah, I like Cactus, and I'm going to stay with that 50-point scoring spree that they're on. I like Cactus 55, Desert Edge 28.
Wow, by a big margin. I'm going to go in the middle here just so you guys don't think I'm choosing based on what you guys say. I'm actually going to disagree here. It was a tough choice. I mean, they've got similar records. Adrian Lara just got 100 career touchdowns. He's on a roll. I want to believe. I want to believe in a player like that, and I just want to see that continue. So I'm going to leave it as simple as that. 50 points, huh? Okay, let's do 50. 57, 53, Desert Edge.
Wow.
I know.
If that happens, I need to go be on that sideline because that's fun.
I'm just here to have fun. That's exactly what I'm doing. Jordan, I feel like you're not going to agree with me.
You know, I like what Desert Edge is building. They were an open division team last year, probably not going to make it this year. Cactus, on the other hand, they might be an open division team coming out of 4A. Not even Ty Thompson and Mesquite were able to do that the last 2 years. That's impressive. Like, they're going to be an open division team if they go undefeated. This is probably their toughest game, but the first toughest game they had was against Mesquite, and they blew them out to open the season 56-8. I just really like what Cactus is doing. Joe Ortiz has them rolling. Will Galvin, 7 touchdowns last week. Kid is just on another level. The offense is clicking, defense doing a great job. I just can't bet against Cactus at this point. I do think the 50-point streak will come to an end. I will put that on the line here. I think they're going to beat Desert Edge somewhere in the ballpark of 42-35.
Like almost 50, right? All right. Well, the last matchup is Horizon and Apollo. To be honest, Apollo is a team that I didn't know too much about, but Horizon, on the other hand, they have a lot of powerhouses around them. They're kind of surrounded. They beat Pinnacle for the first time ever, and I just think that was like the confidence builder that they needed to set the tone for the season. And getting through that was their biggest challenge. And honestly, you know, just from talking with the coach in the past, like that really is what they needed to kind of set the tone, and I believe it has. You know, they said that they were going to spend the bye week cleaning things up. It seems like they did. Apollo's 3-1. So clearly they have things figured out, but I believe in Horizon here. So I am going to go Horizon. I'll keep it close. Horizon 35-30.
Okay.
I'm making things up here. All right, Bruce, what do you think?
Well, let me tell you something. Andy Litton and I agree with you on the game for sure. But Andy Litton and his Horizon Huskies, perfect 4-0. 3 of those wins are by 1 score. So they know how to win the close games. They're not blowing anyone out, but I like their fortitude. I like how they are able to, you know, not get too carried away, get too nervous, too anxious during close games. And I think this will be one of those games in which they win by more than 1 score. So I like Horizon here, 38, Apollo 24.
All right, Jordan, where do you stand?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. This is a tune-up game for them. Obviously, you got to take things one at a time. They're getting closer and closer to their biggest matchup of the year against Saguaro outside of the Pinnacle game for rivalry reasons. But everything they're doing is just clicking right now. We've talked about almost every player on this team as someone that's kind of been under the radar, that stepped up. One guy I got to mention that just week in, week out continues to put up big plays is Cole Linyard, their wide receiver. I mean, this kid is just one of those guys that just finds the ball. You see him and you think he's not the fastest, he's not the quickest, he's not the biggest, but he just finds the ball, and it's usually in big moments. Like, he's the guy that Skylar Partridge turns to when the game is on the line. And so I do think Horizon is a lot better than Apollo at this point in the season. I like what Apollo has, but I do think, like Bruce said, I think Horizon's going to win this one, probably in the ballpark of 35-20.
All right. I feel like this is the most I've looked forward to things, because it's neck and neck now. It's really anybody. So I'm looking forward to it. Bruce, it's always so much fun having you on. stick with us when we come back. We're going to have a cheerleader on the show for the first time ever from Red Mountain. So yeah, stick around. Hey everyone, welcome back to Bleacher Talk. I'm Claudia Faust with Jordan Spurgeon and a special guest. We have Tori Eddings with us. She's a senior varsity cheerleader at Red Mountain High School, which they've got an incredible cheerleading team, pretty good historical record recently. And I've got to say, like, the reason I reached out to your team and to you specifically is whoever's running your Instagram is doing a great job, because I'm just like, oh, this is the team to watch and to follow. But anyways, Tori, you've been on the team the last 4 years. You started as a freshman on varsity, right? So what was that like for you trying out and landing a spot on varsity as a freshman?
As a freshman, it was definitely hard being the youngest on the team, but I'm so grateful to have been on the team and I've made lifelong friends from it. So I'm super happy that I made that decision.
So your cheer team does a lot, like in all sorts of special competitions, but real quick, what do Friday Night Lights mean to you and just being a part of that atmosphere, especially after last year not really having it as much and now this year having it back in full swing?
Oh my goodness, especially being a senior this year, it's so fun. I'm so grateful that we get like a semi-normal year again. Yeah, so we have a game tonight and I'm super pumped for it.
So what is a game day like for you? Like, when does prep for Friday night kind of start?
Honestly, at the beginning of the week, we are just really running our routines if we're doing halftime or the pyramids and stunts that we're going to do on the track, and just prepping our tumbling. Yeah, it really starts early on. And then before the game, obviously, we practice again and then get ready for the game.
What's your favorite stunt during football games?
I love pyramids. I think pyramids are the most fun to watch. Yeah, they're super fun to be in as well. Like, I fly, so it's yeah.
So you answered half of my question. I had a feeling you were a flyer from a video that I saw, but you also were on the all-girls stunt team as well, which is really impressive. I mean, for me, okay, first of all, how young were you when you started cheerleading? Because I don't know at what point you make like this mental decision that you're going to do these flips on like a hard surface and land them. So just kind of tell me a little bit about like overcoming that and like getting to this point.
So before high school, I had done cheer since I was about 8. I did all-star cheer. And then as I, like before my freshman year, I decided to do high school to just meet new people and meet new friends. And yeah, all girls stunt was super fun. I'm so glad that we did it. We actually did pretty well last year too, which made it a lot nicer too.
So also speaking of stunting and just the cheer world in general, I feel like a lot of people like in the pandemic during COVID got really familiar with cheerleading through the Netflix show documentary Cheer. Did you watch it? What were your thoughts on it? Did you already know who half of these girls were?
I did, yeah, I did watch that. And I did know because most of those girls that are on Navarro did All-Star Cheer too, and I've looked up to for years. I've actually met Gabby before from through All-Star Cheer, which is super fun to see her in college now.
For you, you mentioned, you're having fun as a senior now and enjoying that, but what's next for you after high school? Are you looking to cheer in college as well?
I have a little bit. I really don't know. I'm like so clueless on what I'm doing after high school right now, but if I do go to a university with a cheer team, I think I'm gonna try out.
Awesome. Well, it was so nice talking to you, just kind of getting to know a little bit more about you. Real quick before we wrap up, I just want to know a little bit more about your team as a whole, like what the girls mean to you and like kind of the bond. I just feel like as a big group of girls, like you have to get along to like have a cohesive team and create an atmosphere that's really fun for everybody. So just tell me a little bit about your team before we have to say goodbye, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely. I have a great team. I'm so happy with all the girls on the team. We all get along super great. But I definitely think that's because of our coaches. they've instilled in us positivity and just lifting each other up, which is so amazing. And I think I love each and every one of the girls on my team.
Okay, this might be way out there, but before we go real quick, any chance we can get a cheer right now? Just a really basic cheer to wrap up this interview.
A cheer? Maybe I'll do an RMH one.
Perfect. The floor is yours.
RMHS. RMHS. Super simple. That's my favorite though.
We love it. We love it.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Stick with us. Jordan and I have one of our favorite segments coming up, our social spotlight segment. We'll see you soon. Yes.
Thank you so much, guys.
Hey everyone, welcome back into Bleacher Talk with Claudia Faust and Jordan Spurgeon. And we've got our social spotlight segment right now. And we just scour Twitter, scour Instagram. We look for that hashtag Bleacher Talk, and we compile some of our favorite social happenings from the past Friday. And we've got a bunch for you today. And we're going to start out at Desert Edge. We've got 2 tweets from Desert Edge on Adrian Lara because he made his 100th career touchdown this past week, which is so cool. And he's got friends and family that are there cheering him on with signs, just kind of showing him off, which you should. That's a huge accomplishment. So congratulations from probably both of us, I would say.
Absolutely. Congratulations there. We talked a little bit about the weather earlier, Claudia, and how it's kind of cooling off a little bit to a nice 90. Well, we got some rain this week as well, and that didn't stop Brophy football from practicing. Rain, rain, go away. We all know the song.
Why would it stop them?
It would not stop Brophy football at all. They're practicing in the rain, getting it going. It's a good time for Brophy football, even in the rain. So sometimes, I don't know how you were, but sometimes playing around in the rain is a lot of fun. Even now, I still want to go play out in the rain when it rains outside.
I'm sure It is, honestly, I'm sure they loved it. I know I would if I was head to toe in gear. So I don't know, probably a fun time, I would guess. Our next one, we're heading out to Morgantown, West Virginia. Super familiar with West Virginia. Nico Marchial went out this past weekend. You could honestly just go through his Twitter and it is just like a photo dump of like his weekend in Morgantown, which I can attest, it's awesome out there. My future father-in-law played football there. They've got a really, really fun football environment, and the tradition has lasted forever. I hope you sang Country Roads, Nico. That is like the song, and I always think it's so funny. I'm not from West Virginia, who am I? But when people sing it, and they sing it with such passion, and they don't even understand like West Virginia, Morgantown tradition. So much fun. Looked like a blast. Love it.
Absolute blast out there in Morgantown. Some players having an absolute blast in the weight room as well. We go down south to Marana High School. Javier Arviza Gonzalez deadlifting 500 pounds, not in the off season, in the season.
How much?
500. 500 pounds, making it look easy. Easy in the middle of the season after just playing a football game. That's impressive stuff right there. This is a big dude putting up some big weight. Maybe we'll see some more in the offseason as well. You never know, because 500 in season could equal a lot more in the offseason. So that's pretty cool. So
how much can you deadlift?
You got to love to see that.
500 pounds?
The best I ever hit in my prime was 435. Probably can't get that right now.
I think I can deadlift like 100. Deadlifts are actually no, more than that. I'm very bad at math. I can put 245s on the hex bar. So whatever that is.
135. There we go.
Right, there we go.
Whenever I take math tests, that's how much of a gym person I am. When they say what's 45 plus 45, I think it's 135. It's really 90. But in the weight room, it's 135.
Yeah,
so
that's true. That's true.
Journalism, not math for me. Perfect. Well, that's going to wrap up our show today. Thank you for tuning in to Bleacher Talk. I'm Jordan Spurgeon alongside Claudia Faust. Thank you, Valle Una, for your support as well, or Valle Luna. Thank you for your support as well. And that was a fun time here on Bleacher Talk. See you next week.
See ya.